And good evening, football fans, and welcome out to Walk-Ons on a Thursday night, Week 10. How about that? It got on us pretty quick. I am Doug Gann alongside of Nick Magnano, who is now joining us. Nick, did you go put in another order for those another burger or what was it?
I need seconds.
Look, I'm telling you what. Come out here, join us. Are you not on, Coach? There you go. There's how we
I've
gonna have the
considered it.
we're gonna have the Thomas Bachman show without our buddy Coach Thomas Bachman joins us here. Coach, how about it? Week 10.
Goes fast. You're right. Goes fast. It's been, when you're in the middle of it, it is what it is. You just keep taking it one day at a time, one week at a time. And yeah, week 10, senior night, incredible.
Look, and I'm looking, and I have to stand up to look at the crowd up here too, and insert your short joke if you want to, but it has to do with the lights and the speaker that's out here. But they've got the garage door windows that are up, and everybody's there. Senior night festivities
Wow.
are going on out here. I think this is, Nick, the second biggest crowd that we've had since when we had them out in the grass. That was 2020 on that one, Coach. But just a big shout out to everybody that's out here. We see a lot of seniors, a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches out here. Of course, we couldn't do any of this without the folks at Walk-Ons and our good friends at Sadler's Towing. I was looking for the big truck back there, and I don't see the truck tonight, but that's okay. Maybe it's out there doing business. But again,
Next week.
we are good. Yes. Oh, and thank you. The battle at the Butch is coming up tomorrow night. We'll get into that in just a minute. That's a little game of interest. We'll talk about that some, Coach. But let's kick things off and look back at Washita week last week. And as fast as we've started on some of these shows, it was another quick one last week.
Yeah, I got off to a really fast start. I think we scored 5 touchdowns in 12 plays. And, that's not something that you anticipate. You just, trying to execute good plays.
Do you not anticipate that? I mean, you guys are
I
looking
don't
to
know.
score every
Well,
time you touch the ball.
Yeah, 100%. But I think for me, I don't ever want that to be the mentality. Like we got to earn it on every
Right.
single
That's
snap,
right.
and if good things happen, explosive plays happen, and stops and 3 and outs, all that happens. Like, hey, that's what we we would love, but you need to mentally be prepared to be in a battle, and that you got to earn it, and that
Absolutely.
it's not going to be that way. And
35 first quarter points in that one. It was just we were up there calling the game, Nick, and it was like, wow, this is a flurry.
Yeah, you're looking at a 58, a 42, a 43, a 43, and 41. I mean, between some of them were passes, some of them were runs, just on all those first
Right.
touchdowns. So they were big plays.
Yeah, we start, with an incompletion, and then we'll start with get a completion where they're third down. You're just trying to call a play to, to convert a third down, and potentially, where we'll go for it on fourth and short, depending
Right.
on the situation. You're just trying to get a first down, get a new set of downs, move the chains, and we block it really well. And JT does what JT does.
Yeah.
He
I've
hits
heard that a
crease
time or two on the during the
he hits
broadcast.
it. But it's a well executed play, and Jimmy does a really good job. Pearl's pulling around. Pete does a really good job
Right.
of getting us out on the perimeter, and there's just a bunch of guys that contribute to it, and he doesn't need a whole lot. When he gets a couple of creases, and you kind of see that last little bit. It's like, all right, if he can split them, okay, split them. All right.
And then
Now you're looking like, all right, don't block behind the play, or, stuff like that.
you catch yourself turning and looking behind it for a
Yes,
flag or
for sure.
something.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
right.
Then the second drive was well, we roll an onside kick
That's right.
and
What
force a 3 and out.
Right.
We were trying to steal possessions,
Right.
like some of the structure that we got.
was the call that it just didn't go far enough, because it looked like that it looked like that Eli had got around behind it like he does, and boy, that ball hit and then back to foot
Yeah,
like a
I
pitching
thought it
wedge.
went 10 yards. I mean, there's a couple of different things that were discussed as far as, what the actual penalty or illegal
Right.
touching. On film, it looks like he waits for it to get. I mean, and they were even discussing it back and forth.
Right.
No, I had it going 10. No, what.
And that's such a point. I've got to believe too, because it is such a point of thought process for. I mean, that's what he does. He knows to get past that 10. It's like a first down.
He
You
knew
go
where
past
it
the
was.
chain.
Just very
That's exactly
well.
right.
He executed it very well. The ball kind of takes a little hop and hangs a little bit, and he's aware. And but to not get that, balls at midfield,
Right.
and then to do a really good job of going out there, forcing a 3 and out. They punt to us, and 2 plays later, we're back in the end zone.
Look, was that the drive that Darius had his big reception on too?
So
Because the
opening play of the drive, sprint out, hit
Yeah.
Alex on the vertical ball,
Yep.
beautiful throw and catch, tempo, and we hit Darius on a little tunnel screen, and again he gets a little bit of help, and he does the rest.
The lick he puts about 20 yards down on the guy,
Boom, sticks his foot in
and
the
then
ground.
goes, and
He's
there he goes. I
extremely
was
elusive, and so yeah, fast start. You're up 14-0. We kicked another one and didn't get it. And I think it was a one play, they're back 14-6. And so I thought the next drive, that third possession to reestablish control of the game, we needed to go get points. And I think that one lasted 4 plays. First down, second down, converted a 3rd and long. We're able to tempo to a run, and JT popped
Right.
another one. Offensive line did a great job of giving him a seam, and when the ball gets to the 2nd and 3rd level, there's always the chance.
Look, that offensive line, and we've talked all throughout the year of the growth that they've had from Price and Jacoby and Caleb and Connor, and I know you never start calling people because you
Lofton.
can and people, yeah. How do you forget that big man? Yeah. And so just that work and the work of Tanner coming back in and the times you bring it just they're playing as well of an offensive line as I've seen a long time here.
Yeah, when you got continuity from week to week, and we certainly have had that, and just continue to get better. And then you're about to work. You've been out to practice a little bit. Some of those drills are,
Oh gosh,
not necessarily, they're not over there going through walkthrough. I mean, it's very,
it's
very
not for the
demanding.
faint of heart. I'm gonna tell you that these drives,
And
those
they've
drills.
embraced it, and they've taken the they've embraced it, and they know that it's part of what makes them who they are and what gives us the advantage on Friday night. I try and tell them, as often as you can, you guys, y'all are the ones that make it go.
Right.
You're not going to get your name said like, some of the skilled guys. That's just not the way the game works, with offensive linemen, but y'all are the ones that make it go. And it's been a fun group to coach. Of course, Coach Freeman does a phenomenal
Yeah,
job. He's
absolutely.
always done a phenomenal job. I mean, that's like,
We had Reed on the show. What was it, 2 weeks ago, Nick?
him and Coach Free.
Yeah, and we asked Connor. We said, look, he said, when you see Vaughn or JT or somebody bust that big run, he said, look, he says we just stand up and we just watch him go. And I was like, that's just, I mean, you're getting the fruits of your labor at that point on there, and they take so much pride in that.
Yep, got to get him to that point. And so, yeah, I'm very, very proud of that group, and glad that we still got several left with them. Obviously a big one tomorrow night. I know we're going to jump into that later, but to go into halftime up 42-12 and really have control of the game. And then look, it's point of emphasis, like, don't let them back in it.
Right.
Don't let them go down there. And we were able to, I think they fumbled a snap.
Yeah, what was it,
And
just a second
before
down, I think, is what.
Yeah, we're able to
The rain had
to
started
get the clock.
falling in
Yep.
there. They'd stayed, and of course that defense had been pounded on them pretty good. And they're just it's worse fears realized in that form.
Able to get the clock running and
Right.
and get these guys out and say, all right, let's get ready for the next one. And certainly that's what happened. Played well in all 3 phases of the game. Just because you don't, you're not 100% or on onside,
Right.
Onside kicks or, look, and then you come out of it. There's a lot of areas where we can improve. Just every phase of the game. Going to continue to improve. Kids have bought into that. Worked hard this week, and on to the next. Clean up what you need to
Right.
clean up.
Took those 27 pass attempts, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns, 31 rushing attempts, 313 yards, 4 touchdowns. Can't get any more balance than that. And I know, I mean, it was one of those things to where it didn't matter what you guys wanted to do the other night. I mean, y'all were clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, it was one where we were able to get in some rhythm. I was telling them I really wish I had that 4th down called back on mesh. Obviously when things don't work, you always want them back. Hindsight is 2020, and we talk about that on Sundays with the quarterbacks. It's easy to get in here and second guess, but that is one that I wish I had called, had back and a new call, in that situation. But that was an empty possession there.
Right.
I think the only one of the first half.
Yes.
I think we had, I went down at halftime and I talked to good friends with the crew that does the Ouachita games. And so went down and visited with them a little bit, and they were just shell shocked by it all to see that, because they've played close with Ruston and West Monroe and all that. And they said they've not been manhandled like they were on this one. I think we had them a little confused when Vaughn gets down to the 1 yard line. I went back and watched their broadcast of it when we got home, which is
they
amazing.
marked him down at the 1.
Marked him down at the 1, and then they thought he was in the end zone, and we go out there and score the touchdown. They said they're going for 2. They're trying to run it up on us, and don't change either when you go out and kick the extra point. So I'm like, guys, you don't get 3 shots at it here. But no, it's at that point. We've all called that side of a game before, where you're just
it's not something that we practiced hard last week preparing for that, and we're very making a point of emphasis to be intense of just because of what the kids possibly could be listening to. As far as people talking about like this is the most important game, and
that's right.
And we were prepared to go be in an all-out 4-quarter battle and try and figure out what we need to do to win the game. And we were fortunate that we got off to a fast start, played well offensively and defensively. That's the whole thing. I know that the offense gets a lot of recognition for some of the things, but score points, you got to play complementary football. There's a whole lot more that goes into it. The 4th down stop there on their end, where maybe they're pressing a little bit, feel like they got to play keep up, and it's 3rd and 4th down. We get a huge stop, and now we're taking over in plus territory, and we're able to get a score. So there's a lot of things that contribute to winning a ball game.
Look, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about some of those players that did that. On the other side of that, we're going to get Merce down here and visit with him a little bit about the defense, some of these players. It is senior night on a windy Thursday night that's out here. One thing before we go to the break, we talked about practice the other day to show you the difference in the intensity of it. Not saying the first part of this that I talk about is not intense, but when I was filming the quarterbacks and the passing drills, I'm right up in it. I'm probably this close, and Carson and Max and those guys are right there doing those. When it was the offensive line side of it, I'm clearly 15 yards away and zooming in. I don't want any of those guys to keep going, and it was intense.
And before we go, and the way they embrace it.
That's right.
That's the difference. Like that is not an easy thing when they're down there and working some double team drills, and it's an all out.
Yes.
And the way they embrace it and understand it's part of what that's what makes this group so fun, is that they're not resentful of the difficult things that you have to do to be good at the game of football. They embrace it and welcome it and understand that this is them continuing to stay sharp so that we can give ourselves an opportunity to go do some of the things we want to do.
Yeah, your defensive line too, in that.
It's the big
good
boys.
On good, yeah.
It's the big boys.
And nobody gets a free pass down there either, because nobody gets any of that. I don't know what you're showing me.
We're on TV.
Oh, all right. How about that? Our friends out here at Walk-Ons that are doing that. We're going to go make sure we get that Walk-Ons commercial in there on this break. We'll be right back. It is senior night going on here. Full house out at Walk-Ons. You still got a lot of time. We are just in the first quarter. We started fast, too, in this one. I don't know if we'll get 35 here, but we're going to have a good one. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Thomas Bachman Show, live from Walk-Ons, and it's brought to you by Sadler's Towing.
This month, as we gather with the ones we love, let's take a moment to give thanks for the blessings in our lives. When it comes to protecting what matters most, trust those who care about your family as much as you do.
I'm Jason Hawk, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm here to help you protect what you hold dear.
Whether auto, home, or life, have peace of mind knowing that your family is covered today, tomorrow, and for years to come. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect what matters most.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
Are home problems turning your life upside down? Trust Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing to save the day. From keeping you comfortable to plumbing repairs and even generators, we do it all. Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, your one-stop solution for AC, plumbing, and generators. If you need us to save the day for you, call Southern Air Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing or visit us online at southernairnow.com.
Looking for somewhere different for lunch? La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar is a gourmet espresso bar and restaurant with an emphasis on Southern social experience, featuring a wide variety of salads, soups, sandwiches, and of course waffles. La Bistro has something for everyone and every lifestyle. Whether you are meeting friends, spending time with family, or hosting a private party, we offer a dining experience all will enjoy. La Bistro Coffee and Waffle Bar on Coliseum Boulevard.
There we go. We are back live to walk-ons, and I think it might be the first time that we've been on the screen out here too. So you got to love that. We appreciate the folks here at Walk-Ons for everything that they do, and the crowd that has made their way out here tonight, inside and outside. It's a great one.
Yep, I said it so many times, or at least I feel like I have said it on air, off air, said it to the boys this week. Greatest thing about this, man, is we're all a part of something that's bigger than us as individuals.
that's
And
right.
That's the best part, to see it up on the screens and to go around the community.
Had so many people sending me messages during the game Friday that it was on. It was on here. It was on at a couple other restaurants around there. Our buddy Lance says, "Hey, it's on over here too." So we made sure to let them know about it. But it's just great that the city is embracing what's going on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's everything that you want to be a part of and that you envision and that you work so hard for to try and create. And, we've said people that support Alexandria Senior High, people that are from Central Louisiana, you want them to, when football is talked about, hold their head up, shoulders back, confident that, yeah, we can play football too. So that's the best part of it is as being a part of all of this with these kids, these coaches, their parents, our group.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's just so many people that make it go, and it's awesome to be a part of.
Well, we got a big night and a lot of folks to talk to, so let's get through our awards from the week. First one we want to look at is our Security Sporting Goods Player of the Game, and it's no surprise he only played the first half in this one, but he carries the ball 13 times for 200 yards, 215 yards and 3 touchdowns, and I think that's the fourth week. It's JT Lindsay on there, but
very deserving.
Coach, what do you do in there?
Very deserving. Very deserving. There's other players that are certainly deserving, of recognition. But that was a incredible first half performance. Very proud of him. Very thankful for the way that he carries himself and the leadership that he provides, along with several of these guys. Hopefully, we can get some of them on tonight.
Well, we'll get through these quick. I think he's at 1,500 and then change and 24 touchdowns or 21. What is he? He had 21 going into the week, didn't he? So 15 and change and 24.
16 yards, over 16 yards of carry last week.
Well, that'll do it when you break off the big ones on there.
Yes.
And of course, our friends at Express Professional Employment Services, they came on and said, "Hey, we want to reward somebody that's doing a great job that doesn't normally get credit for anything." We came up with the Express Pros. You had one job, and second time winner this year. It's Big Peyton Hobbs, who was just wrecking havoc in there. And I know Peyton's in the house
Looking
tonight.
for him. I know he's here. Very deserving. Boy, the progression over the course of the year has been incredible, and the ceiling's really high.
Do you think he's still? I don't think he's playing up to the potential that he's got either. I think he's got another level.
There's room for him to continue to grow, and
Absolutely.
he will. He wants to be coached, and obviously, Coach OJ does a great job, and very, very deserving, and very proud of him, and we're going to keep pressing. We're going to keep scratching, clawing, continuing to improve. And, it's awesome to see him, get this award because he certainly has gotten so much better over the course of the year and a career, and that'll continue.
And Nick, you talked about Peyton week in and week out too, about that same very thing about, man, there's a lot of room for him to go.
Sure, and at first of the year, he was just taking up space, taking up blocks. Now he's finishing plays. He had 2 sacks last week, and that quarterback was, I mean, he was tough to.
He's elusive.
Yeah, he's very elusive. So,
Yeah.
He's definitely, he's earned it, and he's definitely doing a good job.
Well, and what it's doing too is it's forcing people to look for him. You can't just look for Elijah and Jordan and those guys that are there, and that frees up
Grayson,
things.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Grayson.
right. And that front seven is just really
A
been
lot of
impressive.
them have chose to develop themselves. Ethan Richard is,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
is one that, 2 years ago, if you'd have said he was going to have this year as a junior, people would have said, yeah, what is this guy now?
Right.
Or whatever. But, he's showed up and he's worked. And, you can just think back to all seasons of just the consistency of just showing up, do the work, show up, do the work, stacking days on top of days that turn into weeks and months and years for him. And then, man, those are the things that give me the most satisfaction as a coach, is just to see those players that develop
Right.
and buy into it and are just really good players as a result of the work that they put in. So, yes, Peyton, the whole group.
Yeah, indeed. And our friends at Southern Air this year, they sat back over the summer. I guess it was last year, and they said, "Hey, we want to do something too. Want to be a part of this?" I said, "Let's do our cool play of the game." And they said, "Yeah, let's do that." And we got grief from Nick because we had 2 plays or 2 guys or all of this, and so hopefully we're okay. But it's back-to-back weeks. Young man is involved in this as well. And let's take a look at it, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But it's that one-handed catch. It was a good throw on the outside where only Tanner's going to be able to catch it. Max put the ball right where it needed to be. Tanner goes out and pulls it up. And let's bring that one up now and take a look at it.
Yep. As you describe it, I know what you're talking about. Ball in the flat.
Yep. And so he rolls out with him.
Yep. I'll take it.
Like one of them claw games where he just went out. I mean, it wasn't like he had it out there. He just went out there and grabbed it. And you go back to the pass that he caught last week that was rolled around that we deemed as the best catch of the year, as it rolls off of the defender from Ruston, and he gets as a
It was
touchdown.
certainly one we needed that week, and we needed that one right there. And
what's he going to do if he gets one right there, both hands, where he can just get it in the open? He better get it and go to the house. That's right.
Tanner's a dynamic player.
Well, Coach, one thing I noticed, in practice that some of the film I was watching, I think that was one of the plays to where you really were trying to get open or get that thrown, because that's one of those ones that
a lot of people run that concept.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways. I mean, it's all the same thing conceptually, depending on how you're presenting the play. So I mean, we've had that. We've completed that several times through the years. When people get to fit in the run, how are you putting these players that are in conflict, trying to keep them honest?
Well, we're excited about it, and a big shout out to our friends that make all of that happen. Of course, Security Sporting Goods, Express Pros, and Southern Air for being a part and bringing some light to these guys each and every week. And we do that on all of the games that we have. So we're grateful for them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's get defensive player. Let's get Coach Merce down here, visit with him just a little bit. Coach, this is your favorite part of the show.
Yeah,
you
I'm
get to
fixing to go look at scores and speak to everybody that's
get
here.
some of these seniors in here. Senior night is a big thing. Normally they'll do this over at the field tomorrow night, but they didn't want to take away from anything. Oh, yeah, and we're going to talk about that little battle at the Butch that's coming up tomorrow night as well. We'll do all of that. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons, brought to you by Sadler's Towing.
Just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby,
check out some of our recent work at the Panthers Stadium. In addition to custom signs and banners, we also handle custom trophies, custom awards, custom vehicle wraps, and more. Give us a call. We handle projects large and small.
At Wallace Eye Associates, right now is the best time to have your cataracts removed. A new year means a new deductible, so if you're just not seeing as well as you used to, schedule your cataract evaluation today. It's fully covered by all medical insurances, including Medicare. You never need a referral at Wallace Eye Associates, and our method of next-generation cataract care is the most affordable in the state. There's only one team, one focus, your vision. Wallace Eye Associates.
And we're back live at Walk-Ons on a Thursday night. Week 10 Eve is here. Game day is upon us. That little tussle tomorrow night is going to be a good one. And it's our time that we're going to visit with folks on here. And comes as no surprise that we're going to get Coach Merson here with one of his big-time players on there. Coach, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Doug. Appreciate it.
Look, I was kidding about it being 9 o'clock before I got you on, too.
Yeah.
This is past my bedtime as well.
Got the little ones, got to get them back at some point early.
That's exactly right. Introduce our man. Now, look, you know, when he's got his jersey on, it's quite all right. But he just sits there mild and timid until the pads are on.
There's no doubt. Got Jordan Mason, a guy who's played so many different spots for us on the defensive front. Big time Jordan. Has played some nose for us, has played some 3-tech, some 4-eye, some 4-tech. You put him anywhere on the defensive line, has a great feel for the game of football, very twitchy for his size and extremely athletic and strong. Just couldn't be more proud of Jordan and where we are and can't wait to see kind of, what he does for us moving forward.
For those that don't understand, before we talk to Jordan, for those in the audience that don't understand what you mean twitchy, tell us about what are you looking for?
The opportunity, so short area quickness, if you're somebody who you can call some slants with that's going to be able to get home, it's not going to be a very slow moving movement. If you're going to call a slant, he's going to be able to get some penetration and, the odd front that we play a lot of, the ability to move from that head up stance, and it just gives offensive linemen some issues. So the more speed you have, and it's credit to Coach OJ, some of the drills they do pre-practice and within their indie periods, they just continue to hone in on those skills and a talent that Jordan already had. Coach OJ just goes and continues to just get those reps in and makes him even better than he already is.
Look, Jordan, we could sit here and sing your praises all night, but I'm going to let you're on the show not just to listen to us. Man, tell me what it feels like to hear this kind of talk coming from Coach Mercer.
Oh, it feels good. I ain't going to lie. It makes me happy.
Well, what's your approach of getting out there? Because I came out and I watched some of the – you guys, for a Tuesday and a Wednesday in week 10 – you're not taking off a single drill. You guys are out there banging on each other.
Oh, yes, sir. When I get out there, I look at it like, I know I got to get it. I look forward to, winning the championship.
Right.
I know once I roll into practice, I can't be had going, I give it my all.
Look, how many times did it take for y'all to realize that when you step out on the field, it's go. It's don't get started in a little while. You better be ready to go when you come out the tunnel.
Oh yeah, it's like it's.
I don't know if you ever really learn it because it's like anybody has an off day, whether it's a coach or whether it's the players. I don't know if even these seniors who have been around us long enough, and Coach OJ, who's been a defensive line coach for these guys for their entire career, but at times they're going to have off days, and Coach Bachman will challenge the coaches as well. So while you learn it and you get a feel for it, man, I got to always be on. Sometimes you're not. And
Right.
that's where coaching comes in. That's where leadership comes in, where Jordan's that guy who knows it's you got to be on. And if one of his buddies, and that's where a credit to Jordan, like even if it's one of his boys that's
Right.
you don't want to necessarily go challenge, but he has the courage to go like, hey, we got to get it here.
Well, but Jordan, I've seen that too from you guys, that there's not ever a moment, and there's been some games this season that have come down to the wire. Go back to that Opelousas game. It certainly was one of those games. The Ruston game, without a doubt. West Monroe, the defense has taken over on there. What is it that's inside of you guys? Because you don't look like there's ever a time where we're in trouble here.
Oh yeah, like I be seeing my opponents, and I just fight. I just keep going, like every rep, every snap. I just keep going, and then I try to bring my teammates along, and yeah, it brings us a pretty far away.
Sometimes it just takes one play. Sometimes it just takes one play. I think back to the West Monroe drive and just him getting challenged and we had watched some film and me and Coach OJ and I had a discussion on the sideline of a way to make an approach for the next series, and Coach OJ challenged Jordan. Jordan's like, I don't want to do that. I want to go out there and go compete, and by God, I'll eat my words. And Jordan goes and it's like, all right, let's go. Well, then do it.
Right.
And then Jordan goes out there and makes a play. It's like, boy, it gives you chills when they go do it. And then it's a moment of a little bit of anxiousness. And Jordan gets done. All right, no, our dudes are out here playing. Like, let's go.
All right, explain that too, because now you've got a number of them that are out there, but you look at the growth that Hobbs has had on there. The guys that are and look, I get myself in trouble for not mentioning a lot of names, but Elijah, you guys are dudes. I mean, you're out there not backing up from a thing.
Yes, sir.
What is it? What kind of chemistry and camaraderie do you guys have out there?
Bringing each other along. We helping each other in practice. We put in our head that we got to go get it, and it just help us along the way. We bring our energy amongst each other.
Right. We've talked to the DBs. We've talked to the linebackers. We've had X in here, Jay. Those guys have all been out here, and they have no concerns about that defensive line. They're able to go out and do their jobs because they know what's going to happen. And conversely, you guys look like you're able just to go do your job and not worry about the back end of it either, that everybody's doing their own thing. You get into week 10, and I guess the question out of that is the confidence that you have in the guys playing behind you, and what confidence do you want to give that they can just go out there and do their job?
Oh, yeah. I believe in my teammates in the back half, my secondary. I know they're going to get it done. And, I turn back and I look at them, and I'm like, this is it. We finna go. Like, let's go. So it'd be pretty fun out there seeing them compete together. We all together. It bring enjoyment, excitement to us, and we go win.
And I know those guys don't want to let those D linemen down.
Yeah,
I know
that's right.
That's a point of emphasis that we have in our meetings that are separate from these D linemen. And you play against some of these teams that are heavy run, not that Neville is, but just in previous weeks, you play some of these teams that are more predominantly a run game team, and they go complete a first down, they throw the football, and those guys do feel a sense of like you let those guys down that are just warring up in the front and just like playing double teams and just getting mashed on every play and doing everything they can. You get somebody into a passing down, you get the opportunity to go rush the passer, and they go complete a first down. And I know those, the defensive backs, the meetings that I've had with them, they're just like, man, I don't want to let down Jordan.
Right.
Jordan's up there just warring up for us, and we're back here just, playing a block of a receiver more times, and all of a sudden they run a route and they might get the better of us, but because of the war those guys are having up front with him and Peyton and Elijah and Tibb, like, it makes those guys want to go out there and compete more.
Look, Jordan, this is that moment where, look, when I turn to get into it, the emotion and passion that Coach Merce has, look, and Coach Bachman knows it.
It's anxious to see who Coach Merce is going to.
Should I pick a better one?
It's great.
No doubt.
Boy, God.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I could not.
I'll take it. No doubt.
This young man's right.
Look, if you can't enjoy ASH Trojan football, I don't know what there is. But you go back to the passion, and you see Coach Merce. how does that trickle down to you guys too? Because there's not anybody more passionate on that field than this dude right here. I mean, he is, and he's low key fired up right now. But I've seen the practices too.
Oh yes, sir. He do a good job of coaching us. Making us bring it, making us tough. I
But
love it.
is there a time he ever lets you get away with anything, or is it?
Oh no.
Look, I got called out at practice this year. Do you remember that when I'm over there filming because I'm gonna get in so much
They're
trouble with
doing
this, but
pat and
it's
go
all
over there, Jordan. They're doing pat and go, and they're trying to film.
I'm filming and the quarterbacks and it's beautiful on there,
Dang.
and I get in my ear hollered out, Doug, there's more to football than just offense. Defense is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's
Absolutely.
about
They
blocking
are.
and tackling, and I get the throwing stuff's good, but without the other, you're not going to win football game.
Look, if I can't get called out, what's the use of even being out there? Take me through those drills that you guys are doing when it's the 2-on-1s and it's over there, because I came and watched a little bit and I got way out of those drills. I think it's maybe period 2 or 3 is all that
I
it.
think pods is what he's referring
Yeah,
to.
pod. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's tough. It's tough.
And so this is week 10. This is when you're supposed to be. All right, we're resting a little bit. Let me tell you, there ain't a ounce of rest.
Why do we do pods, Jordan? Why do we do pods early in the week?
Because it bring the competitiveness out of us. And, us working with our teammates, it make us just it's
Keeps you sharp.
yeah,
It
You
keeps you
can't get no
sharp.
word.
That's
Yeah.
it. You
Keep
can't.
keep it
The
sharp.
I think the teams that as they get later in the season that start pulling off of that stuff, I think it dulls you a little bit, and I
Yeah.
think I think the more I think it's part credit to some of the success that we've had, those guys up front, where maybe some of the guys that are in the back half and stuff that might not be as live and as tackling and wide open and stuff to prevent injuries and rolling up. But those fronts and the linebackers and some of the backs that you got to go hit this stuff, you got to stay sharp on some of that stuff. And Pods and Jordan and he's led the way with some of the ways he's played these double teams and just been about it. And it's led to some success that we've had.
What do you guys pass on to some of the younger ones that are out there? I see you giving some tips and giving some help to those. How important is it to you as a leadership aspect of bringing that?
It's very important to me. For the younger guys, because once it's daytime, we want them to do the same thing and carry on when they in the game. And some of these young guys, they actually, in the game playing with
Yep.
us, and we try to teach them and guide them the right way, so they can feel, just as comfortable as we is on a Friday night.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. And you've had guys above you that have poured down into you. All right, let's rewind. And I'm always one that likes to look ahead, but I don't get to do that anymore with you guys. This is the most important week. I get that. Let's go back to week 1, and you look at a schedule that sees 2 defending state champions on it, 3. If you count Ruston on there later on there. Adestrahan at home. You've got Manny, who's always been powerful. This year a little bit down. You've got Ruston that comes to down. West Monroe that comes down. How excited are you when you look and see that type of schedule and know that we're going to war every single week?
Right. It just made me feel good. I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel good, what my teammates accomplished, what we accomplished together. It just made me feel so much proud. Yeah.
And look, without a doubt, and you'll get conversation about the Catholic League down there, but District 2-5A is the toughest district, top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Without a doubt. And it shows, and it's going to show in a game like tomorrow night as the split happens and folks go their separate ways. It'll still show on there too. But I don't think there's ever been a time that you guys have been ready for a game like tomorrow night than you are right now.
Yeah, you play some incredible football teams throughout the season, and you war up, and all it does is just mean to you is the next big one.
Right.
It's I know that's been said 1,000 times this week, and it's cliched enough, but my God, it's the biggest because it's the next one for us.
But they were saying that in week 2. They were saying in week 3. They said and everybody that sits in that chair where Jordan is says the exact same thing. Look, this week, I don't remember who it was. I said, "What do you when you get to play a team like a West Monroe?" And there was no disrespect in it whatsoever. Like I didn't really know who we were playing. I just knew that this is what they were doing, and this is what it goes. And that comes straight from you guys.
There's an element of that, and just we don't necessarily worry so much about the logo or the team name. It's literally this is the scheme we're going against. This is what they do. I don't really care about the tradition because their tradition has no guarding on what we're doing this year. And
that's right.
you talk about records, you talk about streaks and all this kind of stuff. That has nothing to do with what's going on with this season that we have right now.
That's exactly right. And these guys that stay away from that. Jordan, one last question for you too. As the crowds this year have been unbelievable. You travel well. There's a lot of good folks that go on the road, but having the Destra Hands and having West Monroe and Ruston and now Neville that comes to town, playing in front of those crowds, what does that do for you, and what does it do for your guys?
Yeah, playing in front of that crowd, my guys, it just give me so much. Like, I just be ready to play, and then they be on beat with everything. They know when to blow the horns, when not to blow the horn. It just be so much energy, and it just helped me along the way. When we get started,
And when you make a play,
yeah, when you make
it's something, huh?
Yeah,
I'm with you. Hey, I'm right there with you.
Look, I had concern because our window is open right there, and I was like, "Wow, I'm getting excited about this. I wonder if they hear me."
Yeah,
not a chance. It's so loud up there in the stands that it's
It's
just
pretty cool to read some of the articles just talking about, it gives you some pride in the area, where they say this is some of the best home field advantage that we've seen this year.
And you see that all over the place. It's not just local too. There's stuff that are out of here. So look, this game at home, being at Butch Stoker Stadium, is second to none. And that's something that's not always been said.
I don't know if it's ever been close to being said.
And we've talked to the fans, and the fans, they've accepted the challenge too in this. But week 1, week 2, I don't think they know how to cheer like they do now. But you're right. They know when to blow the horns, and they blow them a lot up there, right under us where we're at. And it's everywhere. And the band's playing, and the cheerleaders
I
are
think
cheering
there's a
when
little
they're
bit of
supposed
credit
to.
goes to the band too. I think the band's done an incredible job of timing,
right,
and all that kind of stuff, which has been pretty cool for us to see.
Look, it's been a great season. We're 2/3 of the way through, and this is an incredible game that's coming up tomorrow night. I'll let you guys get back to what you're doing there, but thank you as always. I can turn my chair back and look. When this chair turns this way, it's business at that point. It's all of there. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us,
you,
Doug.
Jordan.
Thank you.
Absolutely, y'all keep doing the work that you're doing, guys. I told you we were excited about this one. It is senior night festivities going on. Senior night tomorrow night. Oh yeah, the undefeated Trojans are battling for a district championship tomorrow against undefeated Neville. We'll talk about all of that when we come back. You're watching the Thomas Bachman Show live from Walk-Ons right here on 446 Sports.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Yeah, so what happened out there tonight?
We struck out at home with leftovers, then we remembered walk-ons.
What effect did the situation have?
Spirit soared. Nick took on a burger. Jen obliterated her ribeye po' boy. And speaking of spirits, Laura even scored a real tasty cocktail. She needed that.
Any lessons learned today?
Yeah. Head straight to walk-ons.
Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Walk-ons for the win.
And we are back live here at Walk-Ons on a Thursday night. It is the Thomas Bachman Show, brought to you by our friends at Sadler's Towing. And Coach sat and visited with Jordan Mason for just a little bit. Coach Merce got out of here before I had that question, so he'll be back over here for one more question. But give me your thoughts on that defense and Jordan Mason. And I saw you come up and hug up on him, and I mean that's good.
Yeah, very proud of him and the way that he's developed himself, the way that he's played, and he's got such a really, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the word, just the way he carries himself, a really pleasant demeanor,
right.
Really enjoyable to coach. So I'm just really, really proud of him and how he's developed himself and the way that he's played for us. Tough.
Yeah, and we talked about that it wasn't I mean, he would go after, and if one of them was having a down play or something happened, of course they flush it, but they're over there quickly to get each other good and to get each other better. And even Merce told him, he said, "Look, it don't matter if it's one of his dudes, he's on them."
Yeah, no doubt. It's very proud of him. That's why I just those are the rewarding things in coaching. So that moment, and then him getting to enjoy, uh, you know, uh, some recognition for what he's done.
And look,
That's
he was
awesome.
he was our lineman of the week a week ago too.
Right.
But it was the nerves that were getting to him, and he was nervous about that when he got up and he left, and we went off the air. And Coach said, "Look, you did fine. You did fine." It never amazes me.
You get better the more you do it.
They get inside those white lines, and you got to pull them off of people. And over here, yes.
Yeah, no, it's a different setting, and it's learned. The more they do it, the better they'll get at it.
Right. Big shout out to everybody that ordered and picked up one of the Battle at the Butch T-shirts. I will, and that we do have some that are left over. We ordered some extras, so we'll have some, and I'll post the sizes that I have come out in full force tomorrow night in purple in that one. Let's visit with a little bit about that game, Coach. All of the hard work and all of that's been going on. You guys are 9-0 on the season and 9-0 in some wars out there. Neville comes into town. They're 9-0, ranked number 1 in the non-select side of it. Coach Collins, that group up there, sophomore quarterback, a lot of similarities. What do you see going into a game like that tomorrow night?
Well, you see a really good football team in all three phases. I know a lot of those guys that are on staff there, so you know the quality of coaching that they're receiving. Consider a lot of them friends, not just colleagues, but friends and guys that you have genuine relationships with, and you respect the job that they do and the job that they've done.
Hold on, come on,
years.
Merce, and sit down real quick. This ain't gonna take but a minute. Is all this is. All right, so here's one thing that I forgot to do. I got a call from one of my employees.
Okay.
Said this dude was chasing him up in the bleachers. What on earth are you doing with my guy that's over there just helping out the film crew from the other?
Look, you pull out a camera when our kids are at practice and our kids start saying, "Coach, that guy's filming us." Like, hey, I'll go ask. It's a question. I'm just going to ask you a question.
It was funny. I knew it was Chuck, so I had told him, like, Chuck, I don't know if you.
Right.
I don't want any videos posted or whatever.
That's right.
10 minutes later, I know Merce. Hey, sir, why do you have a phone out? Why are you filming practice? He's like, I'm not filming. It was great. He's like, Merce, he's good. I know Chuck or whatever.
Hey, it fired the kids up there.
Yeah, it was great.
That's like the manager getting tossed on a couple of technicals or whatever it is. Coach, that's all. That's all. I just had to find out about my guy that you were giving that you were getting after. But look, good stuff.
I'm sitting there with the camera turned sideways. I got to ask a question.
That's exactly. Look, he even got me. He's like, Doug. We're not.
Merce, he's good. He's
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
So no, we just had that happen at practice, and look, if you don't think that things are pretty intense and pretty important out there, just take a look at that. I mean, and this is, you don't want any advantage to the other guy because they'll come in there and they'll start trying to get some film and get any kind of edge they can.
Who knows? You don't know. I mean, it's just, I don't know, paranoia. Who knows? It's important to us. It's important to the kids.
Tell the kids about how important this moment is.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's, look, this is not our first big ball game. This won't be our last big ball game. And that, that's kind of what we've been talking to the kids. It certainly is a big game. Played in plenty of them, going to play in more. Certainly don't want to, minimize or understate, what this game is and what you're playing for. We certainly acknowledge all that, but it's just another big one.
We stay away from the question of what are you going to do offensively to go out there and attack their defense, but we will talk about defensive wise. They do run the ball. They got that big tight end that's over there, the Campbell kid, Will's
They do a really
little
good job.
brother. They do a lot.
Really
They
good
spread
job.
out a lot of things.
Yep, they do a really good job. They execute at an extremely high level. A lot of challenges that they present. Been a week of work where you're trying to get as comfortable as you can.
Right.
To address all those things so that you can play confident and that the kids are confident, and so just look. I'm not going to say much other than
I know absolutely.
Ton of respect for them, ton of the respect for their football team that you see on film now. Obviously, the history and tradition that comes with that program. It's people could make an argument it's the best, but it's certainly one of the best traditions in our state. I don't know, they're in the top 3 or 4, 1 or
There's
2
no doubt.
as far as number of state championships. But so look, we've worked extremely hard, and we're excited about the opportunity that's in front of us. We've embraced it all year, and we'll continue to embrace it tomorrow night at 7:00. We're playing a team that's good in all 3 phases, and it's going to be fun.
Coach, is there going to be any extra seating or anything that's
Not that I'm aware of.
So get there
Gotta get
early.
there.
Get there early.
I don't. I'm anxious to see what it's like. If people are, people get to talking, and sometimes, what happens, we'll see. I know 2 really good football teams are going to mix it up.
Yes.
No matter who's sitting around and
That's
watching
right.
it,
No
that's
matter
exactly.
how many people are in the stands, but we certainly want it to be an electric atmosphere. And look, we don't mind if you come to our game tomorrow night. I know that there are people all across Central Louisiana, and there's other games going on, but
Yeah,
we
but
certainly
yes,
don't mind if you come take this one in.
That's exactly right. And look, the rhetoric that's there, I don't think we see it anymore of, oh, it's, it is the game too big for Ash? Is the moment too big for Ash? You're 3 or 4 years ago from playing in the Dome at Northwestern. So in that game for a state championship, your era here and the kids that you brought in has been full of big games and games that you've risen to the occasion. I don't know that one's been put on over a 9 to 10 game stretch like this, but the word of, oh, it's just Alexandria is gone.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We certainly have another opportunity to, we'll see. I don't never paid much attention to that, so.
Nick, did you ever think we'd get any different answer?
Well, no, but I will say this. Well, first of all, what time the gates open? Tomorrow?
5:00.
Okay, so
Gates are
open
opening at
5.
5.
I have a lot of people that
Gates are opening at 5. Tell them to get there and get seats. And
we have a proud alumnus that's going to be on Coach Joe Morrow,
Good.
who was a principal at Ash.
Yep,
for
I
a
think
number
he
of
and
years.
Mr. Urbina are going to take part in the coin toss.
Oh, good. So, and he's been watching the broadcast, and he's going to be on. So there's a lot of excitement, Coach, and I know you're not going to try to say anything, but there's a
Look,
lot
I
of
told the
excitement. We're
kids.
excited
I told
about
the
it,
kids
too.
at the end of practice, regardless of what you want to put on the line, doesn't make me want to win the game any more or any less
That's
than
right.
I would if whatever. And
Look,
so
if
I
nobody was there,
I think that's
and
the competitor in you. With that said, certainly have earned the right to play in this ball game.
Right.
Our kids have the work that they put in, the season that they've had to this point in the year. They've earned the right to go play in a game of this magnitude with this many people interested in how it's going to turn out. And we'll have to continue to earn it. And that's all I want. As you get all this stuff, the main thing is the main thing.
Yeah.
That's the ball game.
Right.
And even talking to our coaches, you want everybody to enjoy it, but all the sideshow ain't the show. The
That's right.
show's, and that's the thing. I want to protect the group of kids. Our former players, I'm sure, will be trying to
No,
get
absolutely.
and be around and all that. And certainly they're a part of the foundation. And Lord, we can't be
right.
grateful for all the things that they did, but the most important ones right now are the ones in the program, and we're going to do everything we can to insulate them so that when a when the game takes place.
It is a
That's what
special.
it's about.
It is a special night tomorrow night. It is a night to honor the seniors that have been in the program, and you see the group of them out tonight. They brought it out here because they don't want to take away from tomorrow night on here, but none of the pomp and the circumstance. Tell me about this group of seniors.
Yeah, it's a group that loves football. I think that's the way that I would describe it. I think I said this morning on one of the radio shows, or I said it off air, or I said it to somebody. I
Right.
know that was asking. You know, a lot of people like all the things that come along with football, and there's certainly nothing wrong with enjoying, you know, the spotlight
Right.
or you know what your hard work has got you. As long as you know, I said the game being the main thing, that you're not forgetting why you did what you did. You know, that this group has embraced the challenge, embraced the off season, embraced the summer, the month of August, the way we did it. Like I think they're about the work and about the difficult behind the scenes as much as they're about the
Right.
show that's fixing to take place. You know, when you get to game night, and that's been the thing for me. You know, I see Tanner jumping over the. Doesn't necessarily fire me up, see him jumping over that, but you know, a lot of quiet confidence with these kids. Uh, you know, over the years. I see Connor Reed standing over there. We had Jordan Mason. You know, obviously we talk a lot about, you know, those offensive skill guys. You know,
Right.
Jaden Lewis came to us, you know, 2 years ago
Yep.
as a junior, and just, you know, so many of their stories like that. That's the fun part too, is the individual stories that make up the team. And when you see their faces, you know the struggles and the good times and the bad times that you've had with them over the years, and yet they're still here. They're still, you know, doing. They're still a part of it, and they've made it to senior night, and hopefully so much more before the year's over.
Let's go back 10 weeks or so. It was before the Sterlington Jamboree on there, and you made it a point, and I don't know, it was just I happened to be there. I don't know how many times you've made that point to JT, is that, hey, look, they're not going to remember your senior season. They're going to remember what happened your senior season. I think it's turning out pretty good.
Yeah, it's a combination of both what
Yeah.
you did and, you know, the success we had as a team. You know, you want the kids to want both. And, you know, so many of them, I don't know how many of them I left out, you know, Darius and Jimmy and, you know, I don't know. There's just so many of them you get to
Yeah.
mention it. And I feel like, golly, I can't believe I left this one out. It's just a great group. And it's been a fun group. Coach OJ, everybody had left this afternoon after practice. We sat around kind of, you know, talking about tomorrow night. And, you know, what are the things, hey, we need to make sure we're on this. And just got talking about this senior group and how much fun they've been to coach. And, you know, that's not always the case. You
Right.
know, I mean, we obviously love coaching, but some groups can be a little more difficult.
Well,
You know, I
Oh,
mean,
yes.
you know, that's
there's
it's
been times
been a very pleasant
that
group to coach.
that somebody that has their college mapped out for them, that has had the opportunity maybe to not run something out, to not put out that type of effort. But that's not happened one time with this group that's out there, you know, and there is that opportunity for it to happen. You to say, look, I've got my future to think about. Well, this week is all that they've ever thought about.
Yeah, the here and now matters. Take
That's
care
right.
of the here and now. And look, they've done that. You know, I guess we're 23 hours and 2 minutes, really 7 minutes. I think it's a 7:05 kind of kickoff tomorrow.
Again, this is one of those things. Like, that's you. I don't know. We'll go on the air at
You know,
6:00,
so
6:30 tomorrow. So look, I can't believe it's got here. This has been and is in the middle of an amazing and a fun season. Yeah, the wins are great, but this group of guys, this passion on the coaches, and everybody that's involved in it, it's just been a great thing to be a part of.
yeah, go take advantage of it.
Yep.
You know, read them some quotes this afternoon. You know, I know there's one that I got some quotes hanging above my handwritten on a piece of paper taped. You know, I don't know what point or what speech. It's you know, it's credited to Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
One day my chance will come. I will prepare, and one day my chance will come. And you know, these kids have prepared when the spotlight wasn't on them, and you know, we got another opportunity tomorrow night to go play the game that we love together. and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, Coach, the young men that truly embrace this game and embrace this sport, yeah, they remember the Friday nights, but it's everything that happened before the Friday nights that you really remember. When we talk about the locker room, we talk about the practice, we talk about the workouts. I'm going on my 30-year reunion, and I run into my buddies, and we're talking about that type. Yeah, we talk about the district
It's the
championship too,
memories.
but that's right.
It's the memories, and it's the hardships.
Yes,
it's the
that's
memories
exactly
that you
right.
create in the difficult
Mhm.
that you made it through, and you made it through together.
Look, this is I might go to the stadium right now too and bring my stuff. We were joking about going and hanging out and tailgating over there tonight and just being prepared for it because Jason and
I'm anxious
I'll be
to
at the
see what
office
it's like
early in the
tomorrow night.
morning. I don't
Yeah,
know
I'm
about
anxious
these.
to see what it's like tomorrow night. We're going to get ready to play a ball game.
Look, again, big thanks to the Sadlers. You see them stepping out too. It has been.
Thank y'all.
We owe them.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing the work that they do to help bring this on
See you
there.
tomorrow
But
night.
that is going to wrap things up. We're not against a hard break. A big shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. Our friends at Walk-Ons, but those senior parents that came together and put all of that
I'll have to put a
together
curfew on them.
has been that's on the parents.
No,
no, on them.
whatever it takes.
Guys, that's it has been an incredible night. You couldn't have done any of this without everybody. There's a lot of hands that come into play and put all of this together. So that's going to wrap it up. Coach, thank you for letting us be a part of this program. It's really important. It means the world to us to be able to share this with you guys, without a doubt.
Looking forward to talking to you tomorrow night.
Absolutely. My man, Jason Crooks, Nick Magnano, head coach Thomas Bachman. Again, just a reminder, you may be going through something tough, but just plant that seed of faith and he'll bring the rain. Guys, I am Doug Gann. God bless you all and good night.